Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's topic, as you can see on the screen, equity shares. Okay, so first we'll talk about shares. Sources of finance, we have seen long-term sources. So basically we have to see about long-term sources. There are short-term sources, medium-term sources as well as long-term sources available. So long-term sources we are going to study in detail. We are going to see the concepts in detail. So in long-term sources, first one is equity shares, that we are going to cover this concept today. Shares, what do you mean by shares? Okay, first ask this question to yourself, whether if you are a finance student and you are interested in finance, or you are interested in all these share trading and all, so what do you know about it? See, you must know the concept first. If concept you will know, then it will be very easy for you to invest and do other things, trading and all. So shares are basically they represent a unit of ownership in a company. Suppose you are a person, you want to open a company, so for that you need money. You don't have that huge amount of money with you, so but you have this option available that you can get that money. You can take loans from others, or you can arrange it somehow. So it is also a means to arrange money, long-term sources, as I said. So whenever you are in need of money, so this is also a thing which you can do. Okay, if you want to open a company, for that you need money, so you can suppose you need 5 lakh rupees. Let's take not that big amount. You need 5 lakh rupees for opening any small business. So for this 5 lakh, you can issue shares. Means this 5 lakh, suppose an individual person, for a single person it is very difficult to give this 5 lakh rupees to you. But if you divide it in shares, suppose you have issued 10,000 shares. Suppose you have distributed this money. Okay, you have distributed this money, 10,000 shares at the rate 50 each, 50 rupees each. Okay, that means one share is of 50 rupees. For purchasing one part, a person has to give just 50 rupees, and a person can purchase as how many parts he wants to. So he can. So 5 lakh rupees is such a big amount. A single person, if the single person cannot give this amount to you, so you can divide this amount in 10,000 shares of rupees 50 each, or in 1,000 shares of rupees 500 each, or in any denomination you can divide. Okay, so for purchasing one share, that 50 rupees a person has to give to you. Okay, so like this, if all the 10,000 shares will be sold, you will get 5 lakh rupees, and they are also not burdened. The individuals are also not burdened. They will get they have to pay just a small amount based on their means whatever money they have, or whatever trust they have on you. Based on that, they will give you money. So like this also, this is also a type through which you can arrange money. Okay, and based on how many shares a person has purchased, he will be the owner for that part in the company. If a person has purchased 1% shares in the company, so he is the owner of 1% in the company. If someone has purchased 100%, let's suppose, or 50% shares in the company, so he will be the owner for that percentage in the company. Okay, what does that ownership means? That I will define you. So now the shares are divided into two parts, equity and preference. Today we are going to see about equity shares. What is equity shares? So they represent unit of ownership in the company. Means, like I told, ki whatever unit a person will purchase, they will become the owner of that. They will become the owner of the company for that particular unit. So here the thing is, equity shares are the real owners of the company. Equity shares are also known as ordinary shares, and they are the real owners of the company, not like preference shares. Preference shares we will discuss in next video. So right now, equity shares are the real owners of the company. That means whenever a company wants to take any important decision, whenever there is an important decision making, there is some kind of voting, any member has to be nominated through voting, so their participation will be there. Okay, and whatever the profits company will be having, they will get their share in the company's profits based on their investment. So like this, each shareholder are the real owners of the company and they have voting rights, but they receive dividends only after preference shares are paid. Okay, means they have these privileges, they have voting rights. If a person purchases equity shares in the company, he becomes equity shareholder of the company, and that person is the real owner of the company. For the part he has purchased for his based on his investment, he will be that percentage owner in the company, and he will have voting rights, and he will receive dividends also. Dividend is nothing but just profits, so he will receive dividends also, but dividends he will get only when the dividends are distributed to preference shareholders. Okay, so about all these things we'll discuss more. Let's see about its features. So dividend, don't get confused, dividend means profit. Okay, dividend means profit. Suppose a person has purchased 100 shares in the company. Okay, 100 shares, one share is of rupees 50. So total how much investment he has done? 5,000. Means 5,000 rupees he has invested. He has purchased 100 shares of the company. Okay, so on his 5,000 investment, there is a certain profit which he will get, which that person will get. So that is, dividend is just profit. So that company will declare dividend time by time. So for that also there is a separate, that is a separate topic also, we'll discuss it later. So the features, what are the features of equity shares? No maturity, no redemption. Okay, that means if a person has purchased equity shares, so there is no maturity period for that equity shares. A person cannot sell the shares, a person will always have those shares. There is no time period, no maturity, that shares cannot be redeemed. Means the person cannot sell those shares except in the case of liquidation of the company. Only if the company is going to wind up, then only that redemption can be done. Otherwise, in equity shares, in case of equity shares, there is no maturity. Right to claim residual profits. And okay, residual profits means leftover profits, the profits which are left. So first, the profits are distributed to the outsiders, to the creditors, to the preference shareholders. Okay, so before equity shareholders, the profits are distributed to the outside parties or the creditors, those who have given loan to the company. So to them the profits are distributed, means their interests are paid and everything will be done. Then after that also profits are paid to preference shareholders. Then the turn of equity shares come, then they get the leftover profits. So similarly, right to claim residual assets. If in case of wind up, if the company is going to wind up and the company is having assets with it, so after all the settlements with all the parties, if there is any asset which is left with the company, so that will be distributed to they can claim on that. Right to control, obviously they are the real owners, so they have the controlling power. They can control the company in many aspects. They can make important decisions, they can make important policies. They have voting rights. Okay, they can be the part of important meetings. They can elect even directors of the company, directors, promoters, or any member. They can elect them. Okay, means together their votes will be counted, and on the basis of that their voting rights they have, means like in parliament that voting happens. So here also they can participate in the voting. Through voting they can elect any member, or they can make any member exit from the company also. Both ways it works. Okay, so they are very powerful. Proxy means, suppose if any person is not available during any meeting, okay, so who is going to represent that person, that equity shareholder, okay, means if any voting is there, even one vote matters, okay, so even one vote can change everything. So there if a person is not available, so any other person whom he elects, they can represent them in the meetings and important decision making. Transferability, they are okay, so they can transfer their shares to anyone, there is no restriction to them. So the person who will be having the shares, they will become the shareholders, okay. So it's not like it's in the name only ki if a person has purchased shares, so only he will be the owner. No, they can transfer it to anyone, to any member, to any outsider, anyone, they can transfer it. So preemptive rights, what does that mean? They can get new shares at old rates whenever new shares are issued, so they will get the chance to get those shares on the old rates, because new rates may be high, so they can get it on old rates. And they have limited liability, they are liable up to their investment only. So this was about the features. Now let's see the advantages and disadvantages that they have. In features already we have covered many points, so let's go through this. Advantages: permanent source of finance, means once a person has purchased equity shares, he will regularly get the share in profits, so there is no redemption, so they will always be the member of the company. Voting rights, it is very powerful tool, they can vote. No fixed dividend, so for company there is no tension that company has to give dividend to them, and it's beneficial to them also, because after this distribution of dividend to all the parties, they will get the dividend in the last, so maybe they can have more share in the profits also, if more profits are left after distribution to everyone. Less cost of capital, that cost of capital chapter we have already seen. So as compared to preference shares, as compared to debentures, their cost of capital is very less in equity shares. Now disadvantages. So irredeemable, a person has purchased shares, so he cannot sell it until the existence of the companies. That is a disadvantage. If a person wants to sell, suppose he needs money, but he cannot sell, the shares cannot be redeemed, equity shares. Obstacles in management, so yeah, basically they all are the owners of the company, so the more, if in a company 100 equity shares are there, so they will have clashes also among themselves. One will say no, we'll make this policy, the other will say no, and I don't agree to you. So like these things can also happen. Let's do secularism, or they can make their own groups also. Otherwise also it works, they can make their own groups, and they can run the company in their own ways, so they can have command, they can have monopoly on the company. And limited income to investor, compared to other sources, the income is limited, okay. So I hope the concept of equity shares is very much clear to you. So next session, next video, we'll see about preference shares. Thank you.